Spokespeople today and trustees who are calling it a ploy.
What's going on?
The political chaos in Dalton, Illinois, has reached a level never seen before, with Mayor Tiffany Henryard at the heart of a real-life drama. From township shutdowns to lawsuits, federal probes, and an unrelenting wave of media attention, Henryard's leadership has become the definition of controversy. Many are now asking, how did things go so wrong? The headlines never stop. Each day brings new revelations of mismanagement, corruption allegations, and personal scandals. Critics claim Henryard's time in office has been riddled with power struggles, questionable choices, and an overall failure to govern properly, all of which have contributed to the dysfunction now overtaking the town. Federal authorities are reportedly investigating Henryard's actions, specifically looking into claims of financial mismanagement, misuse of taxpayer money, and retaliatory behavior. These accusations have only deepened the public's mistrust in her administration. Lawsuits are mounting against the township, citing unlawful practices, harassment, and abuse of authority, painting a troubling picture of the leadership under Henryard's control. One of the most controversial moves has been the closure of essential township services, sparking anger from residents who feel abandoned by the lack of leadership. This growing distrust among the community highlights deeper, systemic problems that have plagued Dolton for years. Public opinion of Henryard has sharply declined, with critics pointing out that she seems more focused on solidifying her own power than addressing the town's urgent issues. Meanwhile, the media storm surrounding her administration only intensifies, ensuring her name stays front and center in local political debates. Some argue that the controversies surrounding Henryard's leadership are a symptom of deeper structural problems within Dalton's government. Others believe her ambition and failure to prioritize the community are the main culprits. Despite her supporters' attempts to shift the narrative, the constant barrage of negative press and mounting scandals have created a grim picture of an administration struggling to salvage its credibility. The list of grievances grows by the day, from allegations of intimidation and harassment to secretive deals and suspicious alliances. The growing divide between Henryard and her critics has split the town into two factions: ardent supporters and vehement opponents. Amid this turmoil, one question remains: how did it all get this bad? As the controversies unfold, Dalton's residents are left in turmoil, demanding accountability while wondering if the town can ever bounce back from this political disaster. For now, it seems the drama surrounding Tiffany Henyard is far from over, with each day bringing more developments and keeping both the community and the wider public captivated by this unfolding political train wreck.
Being challenged, the saga surrounding embattled South suburban politician.
On Wednesday morning, the Thornton Township building stood locked, with a sign posted announcing an unexpected closure. Residents and employees were left in shock, trying to understand the cause of the abrupt shutdown. The duration of the closure remained uncertain, as did its impact on essential services. Those seeking help, including individuals applying for food assistance, were left waiting for employees who never showed up. This marked the first closure of the township, sparking confusion and frustration among the community and staff alike, especially the township assessor, who, like everyone else, had no information about what was happening. Among the concerned residents was a man trying to submit urgent paperwork for a food assistance program. His frustration was visible as he stood before the locked doors, a sentiment shared by many others. His question, "What happens next?" echoed through the empty halls, but no further details were provided, leaving everyone scrambling for answers. The building's lights were turned off, and no employees appeared, making the situation even more disorienting. This shutdown stems from a political deadlock that has left the township in a state of uncertainty. A series of meetings failed to achieve a quorum due to the absence of two trustees, Carmen Carlisle and Chrissy Gonzalez. Mayor Tiffany Henryard claims that their absences are a deliberate move to block her from appointing someone to fill a vacant trustee seat, which would give her a tie-breaking vote on the board. This political stalemate has turned into a full-blown crisis, as the township cannot renew its insurance without a quorum, putting essential services and jobs at risk. According to Henryard, without insurance, critical programs such as senior transport and after-school services could be cut, severely affecting vulnerable populations like children and seniors who rely on these services. Additionally, the threat of over 100 layoffs has amplified the community's anxiety about the ongoing shutdown and its wide-reaching consequences. Henryard stressed that the lack of a quorum not only paralyzes governance, but also puts the township's ability to fulfill its responsibilities in jeopardy, with essential services hanging in the balance. The mention of potential layoffs has drawn significant attention, highlighting the personal toll this political gridlock is taking on the community. It underscores the urgency of resolving the deadlock before it causes even more harm. As tensions rise, many residents are left questioning why the needs of the community have been overlooked in favor of partisan disputes, and what actions can be taken to restore stability. This unprecedented closure exposes deeper problems within Thornton Township's governance and raises serious questions about accountability and the prioritization of the community's well-being amidst political gamesmanship. For residents, the immediate concern is how long this shutdown will last, which services will be affected, and whether the township's leadership can rise above these challenges to prevent further disruptions. In the meantime, crucial programs remain at risk, employees are uncertain about their future, and the township is facing growing criticism for its inability to prevent the crisis. The locked doors and darkened offices of Thornton Township have become a powerful symbol of a government paralyzed by division, leaving the community in suspense, demanding answers, and seeking solutions to an increasingly dire situation.
From Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Voters here will first head to the polls in February for the
Insurance scandal has intensified the scrutiny of Mayor Tiffany Henryard's administration, raising serious concerns about the transparency and integrity of her financial decisions. Critics argue that years of unchecked spending and extravagant purchases under her leadership have worsened the township's financial woes, leaving residents questioning where their tax dollars have gone. Among the most notorious expenditures are $40,000 and in unexplained Amazon purchases, which have become a rallying point for those calling for accountability. At a recent town hall, tensions reached a boiling point when a resident asked, "What else are they hiding?" a question that captured the growing frustration of the community. Henryard has repeatedly pushed back against these allegations, claiming that her administration inherited a financial disaster and that she has been working tirelessly to fix the long-standing issues. She presents herself as a reformer, committed to addressing the neglect and poor fiscal management left by past leaders. However, a limited audit of Dalton's finances has only fueled skepticism, revealing questionable purchases that critics argue reflect poor oversight and mismanagement, rather than genuine progress. Supporters of Henryard contend that the township's financial troubles were inevitable given the challenges they inherited. Yet, detractors say her administration's spending patterns and lack of clear financial accountability have only made the situation worse. The ongoing insurance crisis has come to symbolize this tension, with its failure to renew underscoring accusations of governance failure and an inability to meet crucial administrative deadlines due to political gridlock on the board. This crisis has heightened concerns about whether the township's leadership can manage its financial obligations, particularly as key programs and services hang in the balance. For residents and employees, the consequences of these alleged fiscal missteps are deeply personal. They now face the possibility of layoffs and the loss of essential services, including senior transport and after-school programs, both of which directly impact vulnerable populations. These disruptions highlight the real-world cost of administrative failures and the urgent need for a resolution to the financial crisis. Critics also point to Henryard's handling of past controversies, suggesting that her leadership style involves deflecting blame and portraying herself as a victim of inherited challenges. Despite these claims, many residents are questioning the administration's financial priorities. Why, they ask, have expenditures like the infamous Amazon purchases gone unaccounted for, while the township struggles to maintain basic services? This ongoing financial turmoil has created a sharp divide between Henryard's supporters and her critics, further fueling tension and distrust within the community. The political deadlock has made it increasingly difficult to resolve the crisis, and the lack of transparency around the administration's finances has only worsened these challenges. While Henryard's defenders cite the systemic difficulties she faces and her efforts to implement solutions, skeptics see these arguments as insufficient justification for the current state of affairs. They believe the administration's failure to prioritize fiscal responsibility and transparency is a major factor in the ongoing chaos. The insurance scandal is more than just a budgeting issue. It reflects deeper governance concerns that have plagued the township under Henryard's leadership. As public confidence continues to fade, the question remains: can Henryard's administration restore trust and guide the township out of financial turmoil? Each new revelation only deepens the community's demand for answers and accountability, with the impact of these scandals stretching far beyond the numbers. Henryard's leadership style is increasingly viewed as opaque and unresponsive to the needs of a community already struggling with mounting debt and service disruptions. The narrative surrounding the insurance failure and the audit revelations highlights the growing perception that Dalton is trapped in a cycle of financial mismanagement and political infighting. Residents are left frustrated and uncertain about the future of the township under Henryard's leadership. While Henryard continues to argue for patience and understanding as she tackles the financial problems she inherited, critics insist that the ongoing scandals point to a deeper pattern of neglect and poor decision-making that can no longer be ignored. These concerns are fueling growing calls for change and greater transparency in how the township's finances are handled. Moving forward, the pressure on Henryard to resolve both the immediate crisis and the township's long-term financial health will only increase, with residents demanding clear answers and a concrete plan for recovery.
To provide a way, provide services, and we're not doing that because they're stalling government, gridlocking it.
Tensions within Thornton Township have reached a breaking point, with controversy swirling around Mayor Tiffany Henyard's administration, leaving both residents and employees trapped in a never-ending cycle of political drama, alleged financial mismanagement, and power struggles. Anonymous employees have described the working environment as increasingly unstable, with one stating that residents feel like pawns in a political chess match. As essential services teeter on the edge of collapse and job security remains uncertain, the township's failure to renew its insurance, resulting in disruptions to vital programs, has only added fuel to the fire. Residents who rely on these services are left questioning whether the Henryard administration can stabilize enough to deliver on its promises. Meanwhile, others speculate that the situation reveals a deeper dysfunction within the leadership. Trustees Carmen Carlisle and Chris Gonzalez have openly accused Henryard of using the insurance crisis as leverage to appoint a trustee who aligns with her, suggesting that her actions reflect high-stakes political gamesmanship. Carlisle dismissed Henryard's tactics as high school behavior, arguing that the insurance issue could have been resolved months ago and that the mayor is exploiting the crisis to solidify her power on the board. Gonzalez similarly suggested that Henryard's handling of the insurance debacle was a calculated move to maintain control over the township, particularly with the upcoming elections in mind. Both trustees contend that Henryard's attempt to tie the insurance issue to appointing a new trustee only deepens the gridlock, further hindering the township's ability to function effectively. Critics of Henryard's administration argue that her focus has shifted more toward maintaining personal influence than addressing the township's pressing issues. While the mayor claims her efforts are aimed at driving development, many critics argue that she has failed to prioritize the well-being of the residents. Allegations of financial mismanagement, including lavish spending like over $100,000 and on taxpayer-funded travel and entertainment, have only fueled public distrust. Notably, an $85,000 in concert that drew poor attendance has raised eyebrows, with residents questioning the appropriateness of such spending during times of financial difficulty. Henryard has also faced criticism over her cancer charity, which allegedly failed to account for donations, further casting doubt on her administration's transparency and fiscal responsibility. Reports indicate that federal agencies, including the FBI, are investigating Henryard's management of township funds, particularly regarding programs funded by state grants. This investigation highlights broader concerns about her handling of public resources and has only intensified the backlash against her administration. Legal battles have further damaged Henryard's already embattled reputation. After being excluded from the ballot for the upcoming township supervisor race, Henryard filed a lawsuit against the Thornton Township Democrats, accusing them of voter suppression and alleging her supporters were unfairly shut out of the nomination process. In a press conference, she compared herself to Rosa Parks, calling the caucus a hostile takeover, and vowing to fight back against what she claimed was a politically motivated effort to silence her. Critics, however, have dismissed her comparison as exaggerated, with State Senator Napoleon Harris, who chairs the township's Democratic Party, categorically denying the allegations and labeling the lawsuit as frivolous. Harris's lawyer pointed out that caucuses operate under their own rules, implying that Henryard's claims of manipulation were baseless. Meanwhile, township residents have become increasingly vocal, demanding new leadership that prioritizes the community over personal ambitions. Many have expressed frustration with what they see as Henryard's self-serving governance. One resident stated, "We need action, someone who works for the people, not for themselves." As Henryard's critics continue to highlight her perceived failures, questions about the viability of her leadership loom large. Her insistence on linking the resolution of critical issues to politically advantageous outcomes, along with the growing list of controversies surrounding her time in office, has led many to wonder whether she has lost the community's trust. The turmoil has left township employees and residents in a state of uncertainty, with vital programs like senior transportation and after-school initiatives hanging in the balance due to the ongoing insurance crisis. The looming threat of staff layoffs has further compounded the anxiety. The unresolved issues and lack of clear leadership have left many questioning how much longer this political deadlock can persist before the township's governance completely unravels. With Henryard's critics calling for change and the community's frustration mounting, Thornton Township's future is hanging by a thread. The political drama, financial mismanagement, and power struggles are creating an atmosphere of instability that threatens the township's ability to provide essential services. As the controversy continues to unfold, the question remains, can Henryard navigate these challenges, restore trust, and lead the township out of its current crisis? Or will the growing demand for new leadership finally force her from power?
Behind me, the doors are locked here, and there's a sign on the building right now that says it's closed for how long? Neither resident.
Documents reveal that Mayor Tiffany Henryard and her boyfriend, Camel Woods, owe over $13,000 in unpaid rent and late fees for a property in Indiana. According to the landlord, the last rent payment they made was in August, and while Henryard is reportedly locked out of the property, Woods is said to still be living there, even though Henryard was supposed to vacate the premises in October. This financial and personal turmoil has raised serious concerns about her stability, with critics arguing that it's distracting her from her duties as a public official. Recently, the Thornton Township building was locked up, and no one was answering the phone lines, leaving residents feeling frustrated. The township provides crucial services for low-income households like heating and electricity assistance, services that are now at risk due to the ongoing disruptions. During a press conference, Henryard allowed reporters into a small vacant office, but later informed them that she would not speak to certain local newspapers or bloggers. This selective approach to media access has further strained her already tense relationship with the press, drawing significant criticism. Many feel that Henryard's behavior suppresses free speech and transparency, which are vital for a healthy democracy. The situation escalated when reporters from the Harvey World, Herald, and Land Dancing magazine were also told to leave. A YouTuber covering the event posted a video with the question, "How is this woman not in prison by now?" These remarks reflect the growing frustration of residents, who are fed up with the ongoing political drama and feel it's overshadowing the real issues facing their community. One comment stated, "I'm so tired of hearing about her, can't they just get her out of there?" Despite the mounting criticisms, Henryard has remained defiant. Earlier this year, she posted on social media announcing her intention to run for re-election, framing her campaign as an opportunity to bring much-needed change to Dalton. However, challengers are already lining up. Senior trustee Jason House, who is running for mayor, has pledged to focus on ethics reform and restoring public trust in the government if elected. He emphasized that the stakes in the upcoming election are extremely high, with several candidates, including House and Pandra Hobson, vying for the mayor position in the February primary and the April general election. Another opponent, Jordan, who successfully defeated one of Henryard's allies in court to secure a spot on the ballot, has positioned himself as a reformer. He has described the current situation as a democracy in apathy, and his lawyer, Perical Zassi, has called the legal challenges against Henryard blatantly hypocritical. Henryard has certainly been one of the most visible figures in the media recently, with constant coverage surrounding her leadership and the turmoil surrounding the township. Services are being disrupted, employees face potential layoffs, and federal investigators are reportedly looking into the situation. All of this has left residents questioning how much longer this political circus can continue. The challenges ahead seem significant, but perhaps the more pressing question is whether voters will demand accountability or allow the chaos to continue. The upcoming elections could provide the community with a chance to resolve the turmoil, but the outcome remains uncertain. As the situation continues to unfold, many are wondering if Henryard should step down or be given the chance to defend her record. How will her administration's controversies impact the upcoming elections? Will voters use their power to demand change, or will they let the drama persist? Let us know your thoughts. Should Tiffany Henyard resign, or does she deserve a chance to defend her actions? As we wait for the next chapter in this political saga, we encourage you to stay informed and engaged. Don't forget to subscribe for future updates, and feel free to share your opinions in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.